Good morning from Heskett Haven Farm. Please subscribe to my channel and give me a thumbs up and leave a comment below. I would really appreciate your feedback on this. Today I am going to make a Colby cheese. I'm not going to age it. We're just going to eat it as a fresh cheese. But so it requires 3 gallons of milk, and that's what I had in my fridge. So let's begin. So I'm going to start out by pouring all my 3 gallons of milk into my stainless steel stock pot. And then I've got just a smidge left over here, and I'm just going to go ahead and add that in also. So now I am going to heat the milk to 87 degrees, or as close as I can get to that. So this is a dairy thermometer, and I'm just going to go ahead and put it right in here in the milk, and it floats. So I'll be able to tell closer when we get up to 87 degrees. So the milk came right out of the refrigerator, so it's got a little bit to get up there. So okay, so we are preparing to add the rest of our ingredients to the Colby cheese. And I'm going to use a mesophilic cheese culture. And my recipe calls for 1 packet. So I get these on Amazon. I keep them in the freezer until I'm ready to use them. And it's a powder. So when we get ready to put that into the milk, we'll sprinkle it on the top and let it absorb for a minute before we start stirring it in. Another thing that we're going to use is calcium chloride. Calcium chloride, I already have the lid off of this, but calcium chloride is used to make a firmer curd in your cheese. And so this on the bottle says to use a 1/4 teaspoon for every gallon of milk. So we use 3 gallons of milk, so I'm going to use 3/4 of a teaspoon. I got the wrong spoon. And it also says to put it into cool water and mix it in that way. So I've got a little bit of cool water in my bowl here, so I'm going to go ahead and put my 3/4 teaspoon into this water. And give that a little stir. Then I have also annatto. Annatto is a cheese coloring, because if you don't add color to the cheese, your cheese comes out white, like milk. So to make your cheese yellow, or orange in some cases, we add annatto. Annatto is a natural ingredient. It's actually comes from a flower. So I'm going to, this recipe calls for 3 teaspoons of annatto. So that would be about 1 teaspoon per gallon in this case. So I'm also going to add this. This is really, really super orange. So I'm also going to add this to a little bit of cool water. Hopefully I have 3 teaspoons in here. Yep, I do. We're just going to stir that in. It is really orange. And our milk is almost at 87 degrees. Oh, yep, here we are. We are at just about 87 or 88 degrees. Perfect. Yep, absolutely perfect. Okay, so now I'm going to use a stainless steel spoon, and I'm going to stir the annatto in first, and then I'm going to put the chloride, the calcium chloride in. So I am stirring in this. We're going to stir it. I've turned off the heat as well. So I'm stirring that. I'm going to go ahead and put some milk in here and kind of rinse that out. And make sure I get every little bit that I can get. This stains terribly, that annatto. Now I'm going to go ahead and add the calcium chloride. Now you can see that the annatto doesn't really change the color of the milk so much. At this point, but once the curds start to form, then the cheese does turn more yellow. So I'm just going to make sure I got this stirred in really good. And then we're going to put our cheese culture in there. Okay, that looks pretty good. Okay, so now I'm going to put, let me open this packet of cheese culture. This is the mesophilic cheese culture. And let's see if I can, I'm just going to sprinkle it on the top and just kind of leave it sit. There's not much in it really there. It doesn't take much apparently. And I'm just going to kind of leave that sit on the top and it'll hydrate itself, and then I'm going to stir it down in there after a couple of minutes. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and stir that in. Alright, so now I'm going to put the lid on it because that will help it hold the 87-degree temperature, and leave it sit for 1 hour. So I'm going to go ahead and set my timer because I get busy doing other things and forget sometimes. So we'll be back in 1 hour. 1 hour has passed. So now I'm going to put in a half a teaspoon of rennet. And I mix that with a little bit of cool water also. So here our milk has been ripening for an hour. And so I'm about to stir in the rennet. And we're going to stir that thoroughly, but gently. We don't want to get the milk rolling around too much. Okay, so now we're going to let this sit for another 45 minutes so that the milk will coagulate and separate the cheese from, or begin separating the cheese from the curds. Okay, so 45 minutes has passed, and it is now time to cut the curds in this cheese. I guess I'll show it to you up close and show you what that looks like. So these are the curds, and to know if they're ready, they would cut and break just like they just did there. I don't know if you could see that or not, but yeah, yep, they're ready to be cut. So I'm going to go ahead and cut these, and they have to be pretty small, so it's going to be time consuming. I cut them like 1/4 inch little strips, and then I cut the other way 1/4 inch little strips, and then I try to kind of slice it. But I will take you along while I'm doing a little bit of this. So now we're going to leave this sit for another 10 minutes so that the cheese can, the curds can shrink a bit more. Okay, so now it's been 10 minutes. Our cheese is sunk. The whey is on the top. I'm going to go ahead and put my dairy filter back, or dairy thermometer back in here. And then I'm going to turn on my burner, and we're going to get it started. So what we're going to do now is start to stir these curds around. I don't know if you can see how small they are. Some of them are still quite large, but I think what I'm going to do is just start this getting warmer. And then I'm just going to keep cutting these curds as I see them large. I'll just cut them up with my spoon. And just kind of just keep stirring them around and breaking them up. So 102 degrees is really not very warm. It's not even as warm as I would take my bath, really. Do dishes in hotter water than that, too. So, but it will shrink the curds more. Oh, I see some of my color sunk to the bottom, it looks like. That's all right. It's fine. I think I forgot to shake my annatto bottle. Good. So I'm just going to kind of bring those curds that are on the bottom, kind of work them toward the top, kind of turn them around a little just so we can kind of keep track of, keep them like an even temperature. Right now it's about 88 degrees, so it had cooled off quite a bit when it was just sitting here curing, and so which is okay. It'll still be fine. So we are at 102 degrees now, and so now I'm just going to continue to cook these curds at 102 until they're very firm. And right now, they're not. They're still pretty soft, and when they are firm, when I break them apart, they won't have any liquidy substance on the inside. Right now they're kind of, when you break a curd open, they're kind of gelatinous on the inside, and we don't want that. So they are not ready yet to be cooled down. So we just keep stirring to keep them from sticking together, because they will stick back together at this point. And then just keep checking them to see when they become firm. So I've been stirring here for probably 15 minutes or so, and we're getting there. The curds should be kind of squishy. Let me get one and kind of show you what I mean. They'll be kind of springy, like, so you can see it's kind of firm. But then I have some that are not so firm, and when you open them up, they kind of, well, that one's not that way, but some of them have like a liquidy center. Let me see if I can find one. They're the larger of the curds, so here's a larger curd, and it's kind of, I don't know if you can see it in there, it's kind of shiny and still a little bit gelatinous. So we're going to let it go just a few more minutes before we start the cooling process. We are done here, and I've drained the whey off so that it's just above the curds. The curds are cooked. They're done. So now what we want to do is to cool them rather quickly, because they're starting to stick together. So what I want to do, I'm going to put the thermometer in here so I can kind of watch the temperature. We want to cool it down to 87, 88 degrees, something like that, with cold water. And which kind of looks like it might be there already, so yeah, it's about 87, 88. I think that's what it said to get. 85 it said. Yeah, so I'm just going to add a little bit more cold water, it won't hurt. I got to take it down to 75 next anyway, so yeah, we're at about 78, 76 right now, so we're close to being where we're supposed to be. So I'm going to go ahead and add another of the cold water to that. See where we're at. Yeah, so we're at 86. I mean 76. I'm going to say this one's going to do it. Yep, so this is 72 degrees right here, which is where we're supposed to be. So now I'm going to just take this pot over to the sink and drain all this liquid off in through a colander and hold. Okay, here goes nothing. Oh, they look pretty good. Now, I'm just going to kind of push them in there. I hope my cheese press is big enough to hold all these curds, because there's a lot. It's been 10 minutes, so we're going to go ahead and start filling up the press. I've got it lined with some cheesecloth, and I'm going to start putting these curds in here. Hopefully I can get them all in. I think I'll have to use my other press. Alright, well, let's get this closed up here. So, I'm going to just start. Right in there. I might try adding more in a few minutes. Probably not supposed to do that, but I'm gonna. So, kind of curious what this tastes like too. All right, so it is ready to go to the press. And I'll just move that up here so we can see it. And I'm gonna start turning this down. It says to put 10 pounds pressure. I don't have no idea how much that would be. So I'm just going to press it down as hard as I can. And oh, there's still a lot of liquid in that. Take it right back out and add more curds. Did you see that? It went down like an inch. So that is what I'm going to do. Probably not the right thing, but it is what I'm going to do. Alright, so let's pull it off. Open it up, open it up. And then add feels like I don't know what this feels like really. Weird. I'll get them all in. That might have worked. It did. Ah. Alright, now, okay, now I'm going to stick it back in there again. Oh, I guess I'll put a little more. Up in there. All right, and then it says to wait 15 minutes, and then take it out and flip the cheese over. All right. See if we can pull this up out and flip that cheese over and put it back in. Kind of excited. What I can do here. Hey, cool. And it all fit. What do you think? Ha. So now I'm going to peel this cheesecloth off. Look at that. Cool. And then turn it over. Put it back in the cheesecloth. And put it back in the press. Awesome. Oh, that was so easy. That was cool. Okay, and then I'm going to just close it up again. Tuck down all my cheesecloth because in there. And so, because I don't really have a gauge to know how much I'm really putting pressure on this, I just put it as hard as I can push it, whoa, in there, and then every time I come back past it, I kind of give it another tug to see how much, if I can put it down as hard as I can. Okay, so it's been 30 minutes, so let's crack this open and flip this cheese one more time. So we're going to pull this out one time again, and flip it and put it back into the press again. This time it'll be in the press for overnight, so we won't take it out until tomorrow morning. And then it'll go into the brine, the salt brine, to get salted. Alright, so here's that. Cool, cool. Let's see how we doing. Oh, it looks great. It just looks absolutely great. So far so good. Alright, back into the press with ya. I'll have it straight. Just like that way. Okay. That's better. That's more even. There we go. And it just went right back in. So let's close her back up. Oh, perfect. This is good. Good morning. This is day 2 of our Colby cheese, and I'm going to make a brine right now. So I'm going to add a half a gallon of water to my jar, and I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of calcium chloride. Whoops, I guess I better open it. So the calcium chloride, when I put it into the milk mixture, was to make the curds harder. So I'm not sure if this helps with the brine, or what the purpose of it is. Then I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of vinegar. And then I'm going to add about 3/4 of a cup of salt. And then I'm going to mix it until until salt is completely dissolved. And right now my mixture is cloudy looking. I don't know if you can see that in there. But once it becomes clear, then the salt will have absorbed fully into the water. There. Oh, very nice. Very nice. Can you see that real good here? Oh yeah, that looks good. Okay, so now, I'm going to set it back here. The salt is pretty much all hydrated into the water. So I'm going to go ahead and put the cheese into the brine. So I'm just going to set it down in here, and it's got to be in here for 8 hours. Oh, yeah. So it has been 8 hours since we put the Colby cheese into the brine, the salt brine. And so we are going to take it out now and check it over. But it looks good. Oh yeah, it looks really good. Yep, so I will bring it up and let you take a look at it. So it's, looks good. So we're going to go ahead, and I've got a bamboo mat here. It's a cheese drying mat, and we're just going to set it on there. And then every couple hours for the next few hours, I'm going to rotate, flip the cheese over and over and over, and then tomorrow, then I'll just flip it over like in the morning, and then in the evening, and then for the next few days until it gets a rind on the outside and it stops, and there's no moisture left on the surface of the cheese. So it will set here on my counter in the air to cure, to create the rind, over the next few days. And then we'll give it a try. We'll taste it. Thank you for watching. Share my video, like my video, and subscribe to my channel on YouTube. I look forward to seeing you on the next video.